Yo, you tuning in because we're about to take a serious, sideways trip down the rabbit hole of robotic rent-a-cops. I'm talking metalheads with badges, the kind of stuff you maybe dream up after one too many late-night sci-fi binges, but dig this. It's actually happening, for real.
Righteous. Yeah, so you're sitting there maybe zoning out after a long day, and bam, newsflash out at Thailand.
Thailand, okay.
Yeah, their Songkran festival, that's their massive water-soaked New Year's bash, just had some new muscle on the beat. Get this, the AI police Cyborg 1.0.
Wait, AI police Cyborg 1.0? Dude, that name alone, it sounds like a rejected transformer or something from a dial-up modem era.
Totally, upgrading to 2.0 soon. But yeah, 1.0.
Okay, so Songkran, for folks who don't know, it's pure chaos, right, in the best way. Water cannons, buckets, the whole shebang. So what's this chrome dome doing in the middle of the splash zone?
Word is this unit was chilling on Tonson Road in Bangkok. His mission, supposedly. Keeping the peace during the absolute beautiful madness of Thailand's biggest annual jam.
Keeping the peace.
Think of it as the ultimate hall monitor, maybe.
Yeah.
Except instead of confiscating gum, it's supposedly sniffing out trouble with its digital nose.
Sniffing out trouble with lasers, pew-pew, or feelings.
Nah, man, more peeping with pixels. This cyborg is rocking 360-degree cameras and an AI brain that's constantly processing what it sees.
Yeah. So 360 cams, okay. Standard surveillance stuff, kinda?
Yeah, but wait, there's more. It's also tapping into feeds from nearby CCTV and even drones buzzing overhead.
Drones too. Man, they ain't playing around. That's layers of watching. Big Brother vibes, right? Especially for you, thinking about all that data swirling around.
Totally. Layers upon layers.
So what's with all the digital rubbernecking? What's it actually doing? Is it busting people for wearing socks with sandals? Or what's the criteria?
Its main gig, they say, is spotting high-risk individuals and flagging any sketchiness to the actual human cops nearby.
Sketchiness?
Basically trying to predict the party foul before it happens. That dude who always spills his beer on someone important. Trying to spot that vibe.
Predicting party fouls? Based on what? Does it have some kind of algorithm for bad vibes? Or is it just looking for angry faces?
Apparently it's using facial recognition, which, let's be real, always feels a bit Minority Report, doesn't it? Especially when you think about where that tech can go.
Oh yeah, big time.
And suspect tracking and looking at how people are acting.
Yeah.
Trying to read the room, digitally speaking.
Facial recognition at a massive, crowded, soaking wet festival. Man, for you, with your concerns about privacy, that's got to be pinging all sorts of alarms, right?
Yeah, it's a lot to process.
And what about weapons? Can this metalhead tell the difference between a Super Soaker 5000 and, say, a shiv in the middle of all that chaos?
Okay, get this. It's programmed to spot wooden sticks, knives, and swords, specific objects. But the Thai PD made a point of saying it won't freak out over water guns.
Oh.
Priorities, right? Wouldn't want the poor bot having an existential crisis over a little H2O. Gotta keep the party going.
Good call. Very considerate of them. Wouldn't want a robot meltdown mid-water fight. But hold up, you're telling me this thing is dressed in a police uniform? Seriously?
That's the skinny.
A tiny little robot cop hat and everything, a little badge?
Decked out in full Thai police regalia. That's what the reports say. And get this, they even named one of them Polkol Nekenpatham Plod Fay.
Polkol? What now? See that again?
Polkol Nekenpatham Plod Fay. It apparently means Nekenpatham is safe. Real confidence booster, huh?
Oh, absolutely.
This particular unit was keeping an eye on things in Nekenpatham province during the festivities.
Nekenpatham is safe, all thanks to a statue with a screen for a face. Yeah. Because here's where the plot thickens for you, right? Word on the street is the cyborg wasn't exactly patrolling, more standing very, very still.
Yeah, that's what the intel suggests.
Yeah.
It was perched stiffly on a raised platform with wheels, apparently.
Wheels? Could it even use them?
Doesn't sound like it was doing much rolling, which, for you, thinking about function.
Yeah.
It begs the question, how practical is a law enforcement tool that can't, actually move around?
Practicality is an understatement, man. They're throwing the name RoboCop around for this thing. Dude, the original RoboCop was chasing down bad guys, taking bullets, not posing for selfies on a pedestal. This sounds more like a high-tech mannequin.
Right.
What's the edge here over, I don't know, just bolting a camera and a computer to a lamppost? Seriously.
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? I mean, if it can't navigate and interact dynamically, its usefulness does seem a tad limited compared to existing surveillance tech. For you, thinking about efficiency, does this really add up? Seems kind of performative.
Performative, yeah, that's the word. And the low-hanging fruit here, the really obvious problem. If it's just standing there looking all official but, like, immobile, what's stopping some hooligan with a grudge against inanimate objects from just walking up and tipping it over? Suddenly, Nakhon Pathom is safe. Feels less like a guarantee and more like, well, wishful thinking for you. That platform better be heavy.
Precisely. It highlights a vulnerability that, a mobile unit or even just less conspicuous tech wouldn't necessarily have. Makes you wonder about the planning.
Seriously. But okay, Thailand ain't the only player in this RoboCop game, right? We've seen China dipping its toes in these metallic waters too. Heard some stuff about that.
True that. Around the same time, actually, March 2025, Shenzhen rolled out some humanoid robots for patrol duty.
Humanoid? Like walking?
Yeah, humanoid form factor. And these weren't just glorified paperweights, apparently. They were built to, engage with people and even respond to voice commands. So for you, thinking about interaction may be a step up.
Okay, now we're talking. Actual walking, talking robots, maybe. Less security camera shake, more, well, still probably not going to be dismantling bombs, but getting warmer. What kind of metal buddies are we looking at over there?
So one model making the rounds is the PMA-1, cooked up by a company called Engine AI.
PM01.
These bots are rocking high-vis police vests. Gotta look the part, right?
Naturally. Safety first.
And they've been spotted waving, shaking hands, maybe trying to soften the whole uncaring machine overlord image for you. Make them seem friendly.
Ah, a friendly neighborhood patrol bot. Does it give high fives?
Maybe.
Yeah?
They even have an interactive touchscreen, and get this an open source platform.
Whoa, hold on. Open source for a police robot.
Yep. Which, for you tech-savvy folks, or even just thinking about it, opens up a whole can of worms in terms of development, but also, security and misuse.
Yeah. Can of worms is putting it mildly. That sounds like a recipe for digital disaster. Imagine the kind of enhancements the internet could cook up for that. Yikes.
It definitely throws some interesting cybersecurity curveballs into the mix, for sure. But China's also been testing something else, totally different vibe. The RTG.
RTG, what's that?
It's this autonomous spherical unit, like a big ball, made by Logon Technology.
A sphere, like BB-8 but for law enforcement.
Kinda, but way tougher, apparently. The thing is built for rough and tumble environments. It can cruise on land and water.
Water too.
Yeah, land and water, up to 22 millibars. And it can supposedly shrug off impacts of up to 4 tons.
4 tons, okay, that's beefy.
So for you, thinking about different terrains and extreme situations, that's a whole different beast compared to the humanoid ones or the Thai statue bot.
A rolling, amphibious, battering ram robot cop.
Okay, that's a bit more intimidating than our stationary pal in Bangkok. What's the grand strategy here for China? Just throwing robots at the wall to see what sticks.
Seems like they're really all in on integrating robotics across the board, public safety, emergency response, law enforcement. They're clearly playing with different designs, different functionalities, trying to figure out what works best where.
This all sounds very ambitious, futuristic, but have we learned nada from previous robot deployments? Because I seem to recall some less than stellar tales from the good old US of A. Didn't go so well sometimes, did it? Absolutely. Yeah, the Nightscope security robots in the States offer a few cautionary tales for you. Remember those?
Vaguely. Refresh my memory.
Well, in New York, one reportedly got sidelined pretty quick. Didn't exactly turn into Batman overnight, Failed to prevent crime.
Shocker,
And there were those legendary incidents running over a toddler.
Ooh.
Taking an unscheduled dip in an office park fountain.
No way.
And generally just struggling with basic navigation. Get stuck on curbs, stuff like that. Not exactly confidence-inspiring, right? For the whole robot revolution idea.
Taking out toddlers and defeated by decorative water features, not the image of an unstoppable force, is it, man?
And didn't China also have a rolling bot before? Something like a souped-up Roomba with a badge? More sphere-like?
Yep, spot on. Reports surfaced last year about a BB-8-style rolling robot doing patrol somewhere in eastern China. Goes to show the variety of approaches they're experimenting with. Spheres, humanoids, static displays. So the tech is clearly still, let's be generous and say, in beta, shall we? These humanoid robots trying to bust a move in Shenzhen, they're not exactly ready for a high-speed chase on foot, are they? For you athletes out there, you'd probably leave them in the dust pretty quick.
Well, for sure. The sources definitely indicate that independent movement in humanoids, especially navigating complex, unpredictable environments, still pretty early stage.
Right.
Deploying them in real-world situations likely means Well, a decent amount of human hand-holding for the foreseeable future.
Supervision!
Which kind of defeats the whole autonomous robot cop vibe, doesn't it? If you need a human chaperone constantly watching it or driving it remotely, you might as well just have another human officer there instead. Just saying, for you budget-conscious city planners out there, seems kind of redundant.
That's a solid point. It brings us right back to the core question for you, for all of us, really.
Yeah.
What unique value do these robots actually bring right now that existing tech, like better cameras and human officers, can't already deliver, potentially more effectively, and maybe cheaper?
Exactly. And without the risk of running over toddlers or drowning in fountains. Okay, so we've got Thailand's frozen RoboCop wannabe and China's more mobile, if still kind of clunky, robotic enforcers, plus these weird sphere things. It feels like we're at the, I don't know, the awkward teenage phase of the robo-police age.
Yeah, maybe even younger, like robo-toddler age, learning to walk.
Yeah, robo-toddler age. So stepping back, looking at the bigger picture here for you listening, what does a future with more and more of these autonomous or semi-autonomous lawbots look like? You know, is this a genuine leap towards safer streets? Like, is this the logical next step? Or are we just stumbling down a potentially really weird, maybe unsettling path with consequences we haven't even begun to wrap our heads around yet?
That's the crux of it. The tech is cool, maybe, or maybe just flashy, but the implications.
Right, like what are the societal trade-offs we need to get real about? The privacy thing with facial recognition is huge, especially if, you know, the force using it has a, let's say, complicated history, like some reports mention about the Thai police regarding corruption and stuff. Adding powerful surveillance tools to that.
Yeah, the ethical dimensions is massive. Who watches the watchers, especially when the watchers are algorithms trained on potentially biased data, deployed by potentially flawed institutions.
Exactly. So much to unpack there. Is this enhanced safety, or is it just control with the shiny new interface? Just some food for thought as we kind of float back up from this deep dive. Lots to mull over.
Definitely. The future's coming, whether it walks, rolls, or just stands there.
Word! Keep your eyes peeled, people. Things are getting weird.